Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard to a very special interview here on Human Events Daily. You know him, a man needs no introduction. We haven't checked in with him since Christmas time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle, how's it going, man?
Hey Jack, how are you doing? It's been a while. I hope you've been
It's
doing
been a while.
well.
Yeah, no, it's been last time we chatted was down in Phoenix at America Fest. We did the Kyle Rittenhouse Christmas special, and we had a lot of fun. But here I am, and we had this event pre-scheduled down in Austin, and it turns out that where we were holding the event was just a few blocks away from where the incident with Daniel Perry and Garrett Foster took place back in 2020, which was actually turned out to happen a couple of weeks before the events of Kenosha in 2020. And because the ruling just came out, Garrett Foster was killed and Daniel Perry is found guilty of murder in this situation. And then Governor Greg Abbott has come out and said that he's going to be issuing a pardon. And all of like the liberal newspapers in Texas, or at least in Austin rather, they were spreading around like this free papers they give out, the weeklies, and it's 12 people declared him guilty, but Governor Greg Abbott thinks that he sees differently. Who does he think he is? I was like, well, he's the governor, he's elected. He does have the right to do that, but I just thought that, given everything that you've been through and given your situation, you're obviously in a unique perspective to talk about this. And so I said, we got to get Kyle on. We got to see what Kyle thinks about all this.
Absolutely. So this situation is actually it's very interesting because it happened exactly 1 month before I was forced to defend myself. It happened on July 25th of 2020. And it wasn't very publicized. I mean, I didn't know about it until a few months ago, and I heard that like they weren't going to charge him, and then I see he got guilty. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like, I thought the police said he wasn't going to be arrested. I thought they ruled it as self-defense because it was pretty clear cut to me when I read the facts of it. You have a man with an AK-47 starting to raise it at you. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Let somebody shoot you?
Yeah, no, and what got me too is that, and it's kind of like the flip side of your case, because I remember when we did all the legal analysis of it, I kept pointing out that it was so uncommon. One of the most uncommon and truly unique features of your case was the fact that so much of it was on video. There was so much video evidence. You had the Joe Hernandez, the Daily Caller guys. Turns out the FBI had an airplane secretly overhead, which we were able to get that video out, which is thank God that we got it and we played it there in the room where they tried to they tried to alter the graphics to make it look like you were doing something you weren't, but it turns out that actually the truth did prevail. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, though, in this case, there wasn't that level of documentation. I think that's also part of the reason that it didn't get as much attention as your case did, because there was just so much video. So in this one, there's like one photo, which, funny enough, the only place I've ever been able to find that originally had this photo posted was 4chan. That actually shows the gun being the AK-47, the barrel gesturing towards Daniel Perry's car. It's a very clear photo, but it is a still. It is not a video. And if it's from a video, we don't have that video because it's a different angle than the only other video that exists. And the other video that exists is very grainy. And unfortunately, you can't see Foster on the video very well. You see the crowd circling the car, the crowd surrounds the car, but it's from the opposite side of where Garrett Foster is standing with his AK-47. So you can't really see what happens on that video. So what do you have to go off of? Well, it's the witness statements. And guess what? Since that is an entire crowd of Antifa BLM, well, of course, they're going to say, oh, he didn't threaten him. He didn't point that gun at him. He didn't do anything wrong. This guy was the one, which I just got to say it, man. That's exactly what would have happened in your case had there not been video of the entire incident. They would have said that you threatened them. Obviously, Binger tried to do that in the trial. He even went so far with this lie that he altered video evidence to make it look like you were doing what Garrett Foster did.
Absolutely. And it's just unfortunate to see, like, you have these people who are under oath, but they're still lying. And I guarantee once Daniel Perry is set free and his innocence is proven again, that there's going to be no justice. There's going to be no charges filed against these people who lied under oath, who perjured themselves. There's not going to be any accountability.
That's such a great point, because here you are, even though you were exonerated in court, it's not like it all goes away and you can just go back to your regular life, is it? It's suddenly now you're Kyle Rittenhouse, right? And you've got to be Kyle Rittenhouse, and there's no going back to just being Kyle with the boys, is there?
No, there isn't. And you look at it like, once Daniel Perry is set free, hopefully the Board of Pardons and Paroles works fast and they get that recommendation to Governor Abbott's desk, and hopefully he does the right thing. I know he already said he would, but I hope he follows through and he does sign that pardon. But he's going to face lawsuits. He's going to face ridicule. He's going to face threats, and he's going to face hate. His life will never be the same, and nobody realizes that. They just look, he defended himself, but I see it through what happened to me. I see, wow, he's going to deal with harassment, hate. He's not going to be able to go out into public for a very long time. His life is forever altered by Garrett Foster's decisions to point a rifle in his direction.